This is Kawika here. I wanted to take a few minutes to go over what I'm hoping to accomplish with my data collection. In advance, I wanted to thank everybody for taking the time to help me collect data for my dissertation, and I hope that I can explain to you exactly where I'm headed with this. Um, when I started the doctorate program that I'm presently in, I had some goals, and of course, I wanted to graduate on time. But there were some other goals that I had. From the beginning of the program, I tried to focus on areas that I felt our school could benefit from. So whenever I wrote a final paper for a different class or I did any research, I tried to channel my energies in areas that might help the school. Um, I just felt that that's what the school deserves, that with the help that they've given me financially to go through the program and whatnot. Some of the papers that I wrote dealt with college persistence, a bunch of them with teacher evaluation, but the majority of them dealt with character education, and that ended up being what my focus is and what my dissertation is about. Here's the title of my dissertation. Um, I'll let you read through it. Unique to my research is that I'm doing a gap analysis. I was really fortunate that one of the professors at USC in the program that I'm in kind of personalized or um, kind of tweaked the gap analysis process that was usually used in business to be applicable to educational settings, and it seems to work quite well, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later. Um, a little bit of the rationale as to why I chose character education comes from Powai's will. I'll let you read this as well. The phrase that sticks out to me is where she mentions that she hope for all of the students that come to her schools to also get instruction in morals. Um, in my opinion, a lot of schools around the nation are choosing not to address character education. It can be a challenge. Um, in my opinion, with the resources that we have and with Powai's desire for our students to be instructed in morals, I feel it should be a part of what we do as a school. And the questions are, how can we improve what we're doing? Is what we're doing already okay? And that's what my research hopes to address. Found this one quote here. I'll let it sink in for a second, from Martin Luther King. I thought it was appropriate. Um, the goal of education is not just intelligence, but also addressing character. Seems appropriate. Um, the help I need from all of you is in collecting data. So what I've done is I've created an online survey. The link to it is in the original email that I sent you. If you have any trouble with it, don't hesitate contacting me. Um, Christy, Kelly, and Veronica kind of helped guide me through the process of creating a Google form to collect the data. Um, I'm all of them. A couple things about the survey: it's voluntary. If you choose not to, no problem. It's also 100% anonymous. I wanted to do that to ensure that everyone's voice is heard and no one um, felt like they needed to say what people might want them to hear. I wanted everyone to be very, very truthful. Um, it should take you between 10 and 15 minutes. There's 4 parts to the survey. I'm going to explain them in a little bit more detail. Um, the first part is mostly demographic. There's a couple of questions that kind of get a general feel as to your thoughts regarding character education. Um, Section B, after doing a literature review and a bunch of research on various character ed programs, I found these 9 components that are common in successful programs. So I've got a brief description. I want you to read through each of those 9 and rank them from 1 to 9, with 9 being what you feel is the most important component and 1 being the least important. Section C kind of hits on that gap analysis part that I talked about earlier. For each of the 9 components, it asks you to give your opinion on knowledge and skills, motivation, and organizational structure. Those seem to be the 3 big areas where gaps occur when a program isn't being implemented as successfully as it could. I'm going under the assumption that we can improve our program. I think that's a fair assumption to have. Section D was added in from Kumulehua. He wanted to get your thoughts on all the different things that are included in our Keano Kalikulehua program, and if you feel that they should continue to be included in the curriculum, or if we should find other ways to address them. Some final thoughts. There's a lot of components or parts to the Keano Kalikulehua program that might not be directly related to character education. I was hoping to have you just focus your thoughts on character ed when filling out sections A through C of my survey. My dissertation is specifically on character education. So if there are some components or parts to Keano Kalikulehua that don't, in your opinion, have anything to do with character ed, let's leave those out of the picture and just keep our energies mostly on character ed. After I aggregate the data, I'm going to be going through a phase 2 part of my data collection, and a smaller subgroup, maybe 8 to 10 people. I'm going to send out a second qualitative survey. And the way that I'll solicit feedback will be from your identification number that you provide in the beginning. So please don't forget that number. I hope that I've been pretty clear in explaining what I'm hoping to get from everybody. If you have any questions, call me or send me an email. I want to mahalo everybody again. Hopefully the data that I collect can be of benefit in the short term and or long term to help us address character education at our school. Mahalo.